Welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is Harsha and our today's topic of discussion is verb. So today we will be going through its all dimensions so that at the end of the video it will be clear to you that exactly what is it. So without wasting our time, let us start. Now let's see what is verb. As you can see on the screen, its definition, I'm just going to read it. A verb is a word or a combination of words that indicates action or a state of being or condition. A verb is the part of a sentence that tells us what the subject performs. Now, if we will talk about a particular sentence, so what we can understand, let us decode this definition so it will be more clear. What does it saying that if you are talking in a sentence, so what the verb will indicate? It will indicate action or a state of being or any condition. Okay, now it will tell us that what kind of action the subject is performing in that particular sentence. Okay, so now let us see the example so it will be clear. As here the first example is Jacob walks in the morning. Now what does we can understand with walks? It's a type of action. Okay, a usual action. Now the second one is Mike is going to school. This is also action. Okay, it's telling about the action. And the third one is Anna is a good girl. This is telling about the state of being, that we are telling the quality of that girl, that she is a good girl. Okay, so that is it. Now the second slide is all about types of verb. So as you can see here, it's main, lexical and principal verb. So all these three are same, so no need to get confused. So it's here what principal, lexical, main verb, helping and auxiliary verb, linking and copular verb, stative and dynamic verb. So stative, that is which will tell us about the state, and dynamic, that is it will tell about the action. To that we can also say infinitive. Okay, now it's modal helping verb, regular verbs, transitive and intransitive verbs, finite and non-finite verbs. Okay, now non-finite verbs are further divided into three categories, that is gerund, infinitive and participle. Okay, so all these we will discuss one by one. So the first one is what? Main verb. Now let us see what is main verb. So a main verb includes most verbs. Main verbs or lexical verbs, to main verb we can also say lexical verb, are the action word in a sentence. Means in a sentence or wherever the action words will come, it will be a main verb. Alright, now just see the example so that you will understand. I'm driving to the beach. Here what we can understand, in this case driving is happening continuously in the present. Okay, means it's a ing form, that means it's talking about the continuation. So driving is happening continuously in the present. Different forms of to be could be used as a helping verb to explain when the driving is occurring, like was driving, will drive, or had been driving. Okay, so driving is what? Continuation, and we can use any tense here. That's what it is telling to us. Now the next is helping or auxiliary verb. So what are these? Auxiliary verbs are also called helping verbs. An auxiliary verb extends the main verb by helping to show time tense and possibility. The auxiliary verbs are be verbs, have, to, and do. Okay, now we can understand with its name, helping, that is to help. Okay, means it will help in a sentence to tell something. Now what it will tell and for what it will help, we will see. Okay, so in a particular sentence, what auxiliary verb will do? It will tell us about the tense. Okay, the possibility and time. Now let us see how. Alex is going to school. Now here what we can understand with this sentence, Alex is going to school. Okay, we are talking about the present tense. It's a helping verb of present tense. Okay, is MR. So it's telling about the present tense. So that is why it's an auxiliary verb or a helping verb. Now the second is they are walking in the park. Okay, so here also it's also telling about the present tense. I have seen a movie. Here have, it's also right, it's also telling about the tense. Here do. Alright, it's asking a question here, and don't waste your time. This is do. Okay, so let us go to the next one, which is linking or copular verb. A linking verb adds details about the subject of a sentence. In its simplest form, it connects the subject to the complement. That is, the word that follow the linking verb. Here are some examples of linking verb like act, feel, remain, appear, become, seen, smell, sound, grow, look, prove, stay, taste, turn. All these are examples of linking verbs. So what does it saying? We can understand with example. I want that. It's an incomplete sentence. Means here there is no object. Okay. Means we are not too sure that what he is talking about, because he just said I want that. Now that can be anything. Okay. We don't know what is that. Just like here, she appears ready for the party. Okay. It's not telling about any kind of action, but it's linking subject to the complement. Okay. The food seemed delicious. The food were delicious. This is also, it's linking them. Okay. Now let us move to the next one, that is stative and dynamic verb. So stative verbs usually refer to a state or condition which is quite static or unchanging. Means stative means it will talk about the state. Alright, like hate, believe, contain, own. So these are the kinds which cannot change, which are unchangeable. Okay. So just have a look on the example. I hate chocolates. It's telling what I just hate chocolates. Alright. Here hate. It's unchanging. She believes in UFOs. Here also believe. Okay. The box contains 24 cans of soda. Sid owns 3 motorbikes. These are all the examples of stative verbs, because here we just cannot change it. Okay. These are static. These are telling about the stativity of the sentence. Now you will think that what kind of state it is. Okay, so let us take an example like the leaf is changing its color. It's changing its color means it's in the state of change. Before it is something else, and after changing it would be something else. So that is what it's telling. And hate is what? Static. Hate is hate. Okay, believe is believe. So that is what it's trying to tell. Now here is a note which you have to keep in your mind, is that we cannot use these verbs in the continuous forms. You can't say Sid is owning 3 cars. Owning is a state, not an action. Yeah, so this is what I was trying to tell you from the example which I have just given recently. That is it. So I think it's clear to you. So now let us move to the next one, that is dynamic verb. So dynamic verb describe activity or event which can begin and finish and can be used in the simple and perfect forms like plays, played, had played, as well as continuous or progressive forms is playing, was playing, has been playing, had been playing. Okay, so now let us see example. She plays tennis every Friday. She's playing tennis right now. So what we can understand with the definition, here it's telling that it will tell that which can begin or finish, mean the beginning and the finish. Okay, it's telling, it will describe the activity or the event. Okay, it will tell about the activities and events. So here what does it saying? She plays tennis every Friday. It's telling that she used to play tennis every Friday. वो Friday tennis खेलती है. And then here also it's telling what she's playing tennis right now. Here the status changed. Here she's what playing right now. All right. So that is what it's trying to tell. As it is written here, that dynamic verb describe activities or events which can begin or finish and can be used in the simple and perfect forms. Now the second one, the snow melts. The snow melts every spring. It's telling, okay, means here is some action here. Action is here. It will melt. It's telling about the action in a sentence. Okay, the snow is melting right now. Here it is also. You can understand. Now I think you got it. So the next is modal helping verb. So what is it? Let us see. A modal verb is a kind of an auxiliary verb. It assists the main verb to indicate possibility, potentiality, ability, permission, expectation, and obligation. So now what modal verbs will tell in a sentence? It will tell about, it will indicate the possibility, okay, potentiality, ability, permission, expectation, and obligation. Alright, now just see some examples of modal verbs, that is can, could, must, may, might, ought to, shall, should, will, would. Now just have a look on the example so you will better understand. I may want to talk to you again. Okay, here have a look at this word may. This is a modal verb. Okay, it's just telling about the possibility. I may want to talk to you again. Okay, now you should call him. It's just what it is doing. It's also, now they must play their best game to win. Here it's emphasizing na must, that is you must have to play, just like that. They must play their best game to win. So it's all that. Now next one is regular and irregular verbs. So regular verbs form their past and past participle forms by adding ed. So in whatever sentence you will see this ed form, that will come into regular verb, like walk, walked, walked, dance, danced, danced, paint, painted, painted, work, worked, worked. Okay, now just look at example. Yesterday Jack studied all day. Here you can see the ed form of study. This is regular verb. Rahul has accepted. Here this. Have you finished yet? It's finished. Just focus on the words. We really liked the film we watched last night. Here too, this was. So it's quite easy to understand, no need to worry about it. And the next is irregular verbs. Irregular verbs are verbs that don't take on the regular d, ed, ied spelling or patterns of the past simple or past participle. So means the words which will not contain ed form, sorry, d form, ed form or ied form. So that will come into irregular verbs, like go, say, see, think, make, take, come, know, all these. Now just look at example. Go get your brother. It's time to eat dinner. In this example, all three irregular verbs go, get and eat are in base form. Okay, means there is no d, ed or ied form. Alright, that's what it's trying to tell. Now I want to build a sand castle like the one we built last year. This is a good example of that. Okay, so now let us move to the next one. That is transitive and intransitive verb. Now what is it? Transitive verbs must have a direct object. A transitive verb demands something or someone to be acted upon, means it needs an object. Okay, without object the sentence is incomplete. Now how? Look at example. I painted the car. Means the verb paint demands an object to be painted. Means if there is a car, then only we can paint it. Alright, that's what it's trying to tell, that it always needs a object to act upon. Now she's reading the newspaper. So now have a look on this. The verb read asks the question, what is she reading? The answer is object. Means here also the object is needed for the completion of the sentence. Alright, so this is transitive. Let us see what is intransitive verb. So intransitive verb do not act upon anything. They may be followed by an adjective, adverb, preposition or any or another part of speech. Okay, means as just we have seen recently that a transitive verb needs an object, but in the case of intransitive verb there is no need of object. All right, now just have look on example. She smiled. The verb smile cannot have any object since the action of smiling does not fall upon anything or anyone. Okay, means for smiling we just don't need any kind of object. Okay, or for smile we just need a simple kind of thought which comes in our mind. All right, so that's what it is telling, that to smile we just don't need any kind of object. That's what. Now the next one example is I wake up at 6 a.m. No object is needed to this verb. Yeah, it's better to understand that I wake up at 6 morning. It's quite easy. Now here is a note. To this also you have to keep in your mind That is, subject plus intransitive verb is sufficient to make a complete sentence, but subject plus transitive verb is not sufficient because transitive verbs demand a direct object. Alright, means in transitive verbs we just need the object to complete the sentence. Okay, but in transitive it's quite opposite. We just don't need any kind of object. That's what it's telling. So keep this note in your mind. So the next one is finite verb. Okay, so finite verbs change their forms when there is a change in the number or person of the subject. Finite verbs also have different forms in different tenses. Means it's telling that it can change its forms when there is a change in the number of the subjects. Okay, now how it will change we will see in the example. Just like Raquel is happy. Okay, so in this example is a finite verb. Okay, the subject is Raquel. The tense of the verb is present tense. Now just have a look on the sentence that Raquel was happy. Okay, Raquel was happy. So here tense changed. Now if we will replace Raquel by any two persons, okay, so what we will use here? They. We will use here they. Okay, because there are two persons, that's why they were happy, that they are happy. So that verb is changing here because of changing of the person of the subject. The purpose of telling you this example is that we have replaced it by two persons. Okay, the subject of the person is replaced by the two persons. So what is happening here? Here is a change in the number. That's why it's putting an impact on the verb too. Because if we will write here they, then we have to write here are. They are. Now I think you got it. So now let us see the next example. He painted the fence. In this example, painted is a finite verb. The subject is he. The tense of the verb is past tense. The similar example would be there, and the same conditions would apply on this sentence too. Okay, so now let us move to next one. That is non-finite. So non-finite verbs do not change their forms when the number or person of the subject changes. Okay, there are mainly three types of non-finite verbs. One is infinitives, gerunds, and participle. Okay, so now what are gerunds? The ing ending means in which sentences you will see this ing ending that would be considered as gerund sentences. Okay, now just have a look. Like Lee likes playing rugby. So this is also. Okay, now infinitive usually preceded by to. Okay, like this. He wants to play. This is it. Now he want a game to play. This also. He back to play means in whatever sentence you will see this to, that will be infinitives. Alright, now there are two types of participle, that's present participle and past participle. So the present participle is always formed by adding the suffix ing to a verb. Like she is babysitting tonight. I'm singing a song. It was raining a little yesterday. Alright, so it's very easy to understand. And the next and the last is the past participle is often but not always formed by adding the suffix ed to a verb. Like he was finished with the project. She has burned dinner before. I have lived an interesting life. So these two are very easy to understand. So I don't think I need to explain it because it's all clear. Alright. So this was all about verbs, and I think we are done with this. We have went through each and every example of verb and its definition. And now in the next one, I will be there with one more interesting video. So if you like my video, then keep watching. Thank you.